let's just act
Okay,
like
all
we
right.
we,
So
we do a
okay,
majority.
all
Clemson
right.
versus Arizona State.
So
That's the
Clemson versus
next
Arizona
game.
State. Arizona State having taken a few weeks off. This is a moment where Clemson is literally made for. Whether it be the players on the field or the coach, they have been there. Sometimes you have to act like you've been there, but that's not easy for everyone. It'll be easy for Clemson. I don't know if Arizona State is a team that can act like they've been there, like maybe some of these other teams. Like maybe you can have a team that hasn't even won a playoff game, like Notre Dame, but maybe they can act like they've been there better than Arizona State. Okay, I feel like no one can tackle Cam Scatterboot. Clemson D line's pretty good. They're gonna give it their best shot. He won't be running. He won't be running wild. He won't be throwing 7, 8 dudes off of him. Okay, so let's say they meet up with Arizona State. Who would they play? That's the quarterfinal,
Yeah,
semifinals.
so
So who
I
would
mean
they get?
we'll go from there. So Nick, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, go
Tennessee
ahead.
versus Ohio State. Who you got?
I got Tennessee in that one. Like I said earlier, I just think this Tennessee offense, especially the way they run the ball, Ohio State coming off that Michigan game, I like Tennessee.
Mm. Oh, so you think they're gonna go in the horseshoe and win it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right,
I
so
mean,
just now you got Tennessee winning.
Michigan did the
Well,
same thing, by the way. But
eh,
continue.
all right, bro. That is kind of crazy when you put it like that. They the
Yeah.
same type of team. Great D line. They're gonna get on Ohio State ass.
Exactly.
So now we go into the quarterfinal. Tennessee versus Oregon. Who you got?
Same thing like I told TJ earlier. I like Tennessee in this game as well. I don't
What?
I don't think Vance, I want you to sit down and watch that Big Ten championship game. We are old enough to remember when Iowa and it was some nasty low scoring games in the Big Ten championship. That
Yeah.
game was in the 40s.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oregon gave up 40 points. This Tennessee offense is capable of putting up 40, and their defense is also capable of not giving up 40. So give
They
me
just have to
Tennessee.
get if they just get to Dylan Gabriel. If he's uncomfortable as hell, he will give it up. He might fumble it. They're going to give him hell, bro.
Bro, them 6 years don't mean shit, bro.
Tennessee just beat the brakes off a Big Ten team in a bowl game last year. Like
Mm.
they're like I don't even if we don't even count Oregon as a real Big Ten team because this is their first year. Tennessee is made and has been created in these past few years for these type of teams that like to open these wide open run lanes.
Oh, God.
Imagine you trying to open a run lane and somebody already ran past your face.
Yeah.
You trying to reach block to the second level. Defense, he already ran past your face. Jordan James not finna get 8 yards a pop before he get hit. They're
Yeah.
not finna be trading blows. Tennessee, they used to go tempo. They finna hold that bitch now. They
Oh,
not gonna
God.
let
Get that
Nico
bitch
put
to
it in
Dylan
harm's
Sampson.
way. They not finna just be. They
Y'all
not
don't
finna be
think Oregon
okay.
can win ugly?
No, they
No.
haven't had to.
Uh,
Necessity breeds the ability to do things. They have not had to win ugly besides that one game against. Well, no, wait, did they beat Ohio State?
Yeah, they beat
yeah, they beat
Ohio
Ohio
State, but
State.
that was
It
Yeah,
by
okay,
wasn't an
yeah,
ugly
offensive.
game. It was
Ohio
like
State had the
17
ball
13.
last, the
yeah,
offensive
off
passing.
a fluke
Yeah,
ass penalty.
yeah.
Okay, I highly doubt that happens again.
And
They
that was
don't. I
still a
don't think.
30-something game.
I'm gonna say I don't think they can win
They
ugly
beat
because
Wisconsin 16-13. That was the close game.
right. Like I don't think they can win ugly because they haven't had to. Like okay, yeah, they beat Wisconsin by 3. That's a
You can just
conference
out
game. Like
talent. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
conference games are weird like that. This ain't no conference game. This is a team they haven't seen. This is a team they won't see again. Like they just gotta catch them. If Tennessee catch them lacking, like this is their worst match. Like Oregon would have been better off probably against maybe anybody else. Now that is not to say Nico won't go in there and get that bitch up 5 times. If you do that, then it's gonna be a different game. But Hyper won't even let it get to that because if
Exactly.
they want to run the ball and play point guard, we gonna run the ball. We gonna play point guard, and we have faster defensive ends than you do. We have bigger, stronger guys than you do, and we're gonna push your lineman out the way before you push ours. And then before you know it, Tennessee might win 28-14, 28-7, because they're not gonna turn it into a boat race, because that's what
That's
Oregon wants.
crazy.
And kind of to the, I know we kind of shit on Oregon, but if Oregon is to win, they have two transfer fourth, fifth year corners who are legit lockdown.
Yeah.
And they're going to have
Mm.
to be some of the most impactful players, whether they play Ohio State or Tennessee. And
Okay.
so I think that's where it starts for Oregon. If you can make some stops, then you have chances to get your offense going.
Yeah.
If you can't get those stops, especially playing a more physical style of football, it's over with for you.
They have
Okay.
to dictate pace in the way that Penn State, like, once we got on the TV and saw that it was 28-21 after 2 quarters, we're like, okay, well, this is not Penn State's game. They want to win ugly. They want to hold the ball. They want
Exactly.
to, like, but they were getting hit over the head, like, too many times to hit back over there. They were punching above their weight class in terms of the way that they want to play the game. That will not be the case for Tennessee. They won't be intimidated. They won't be worried about losing a big game. Tennessee won't care. Penn State, half that game was the bugaboo of we never win a big game. So they literally went out there and didn't win a big game because that's not what they do. No, literally, you're laughing, but
You're
like,
not lying. That's the
but think
MO
about
on
it. They
James
literally,
Franklin. Yeah.
they're literally used to losing big games, and that shit literally kicked in. And they're like, well, damn, we don't have it. We don't win these games. Well, let's not win this game. Tennessee don't care about that. Tennessee don't have no pedigree of winning. They don't care. They just want to win.
I don't hate it, bro. All right, so we got through the top through the quarterfinal. I'm just gonna run through the bottom.
Okay.
SMU, we agree SMU is gonna get smoked by Penn
Yeah,
State. They can't win the game. Notre Dame is gonna beat Indiana. Oh, correct.
Ooh.
Oh, if y'all disagree, listen.
I don't know. I haven't watched that much of those. Like I can't really say. Like,
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like I haven't watched outside of the Indiana Ohio State game and like one or two Notre Dame games. I haven't seen a lot of these teams to TJ's point, but I have seen 4 years of Riley Leonard as a Duke football fan.
Okay.
And one thing I do know is he gonna turn that bitch over.
Yeah, shit. All right,
I like
bro.
Indiana.
What about you, TJ? I'm gonna say Notre Dame. It's 1-1. So who you got?
I feel like Indiana's a team like we didn't come this far just to get this far. Like going back to like the bugaboo, it's in Notre Dame's DNA to get a cakewalk, and they've lost to Marshall. They have lost to NIU. Like this is in like when we talk about it's in me, like it's a good. This is in them. I remember a few years ago when they begged them to let them in the playoff after not even being in a conference. They tried out Ian Book out there and they got the piss beat out of them. They were supposed to they might even win the game. Like this is in them. When it comes to a game that we're like, oh, win it, it's in them, bro. It's in them. I'm gonna go with Indiana.
Oh, girl. Okay, my bad.
Go Indiana.
So Penn State, Boise State. Penn State, Boise State. For me, I know we love Anthony Genty. The best player in that game, Tyler Warren. They're not going to be able to stop him.
He is nice.
They're not going to be able to.
I'll go Penn State. If they can't get the ball to Ashton Genty 30 times, which Penn State will not allow. I just told Nick the other day that he outgained the quarterback and 70% of the game. Like that's ridiculous. And it was by a lot every time.
Now Penn State go pop his ass. They ain't no bouncing off them.
They can't even block anyway. Ashton Genty never had one single running lane a day in his life. He's just that good. He'd be running like 6 of his own linemen just to get a first down. Like
they put him his after contact stats are still like 1,000 rushing yards, bro.
Little Michael Parsons going to be in that backfield.
Yeah, it was like what he was number 1 in rushing, number 2 in rushing is him after yards after contact. Okay,
like come on now. If that's all they got to do to win that game, like the weather won't be a factor. You'll be inside. That both teams will be far away from home. Like none of that shit will be a factor. And keep him from getting the ball for 30. I know they're gonna try. Boise State gonna try to give him that shit 30 times, but he's gonna have 30 carries for 60 yards, and he might not even score it. If they keep doing that, I don't trust him to throw the ball to win the game. Tyler Warren, Katron Allen, Singleton, Drew Allen, it's just too much. It's just too much.
All right, bro.
In the championship, 20 plus carries, 120 yards, 1 TD. That efficiency dropping. It's done.
All right, bro. In the Blood Bowl, the final quarterfinal, we got the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Who y'all got?
Georgia.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, Carson Beck probably won't be playing, so I got Georgia too.
Dude, if Indiana won that game, all hell, like the bracket is dumb.
It's not far fetched though, bro.
No,
it's
you're
not
right,
far fetched.
To me, there's not really any team here that's that much better than all the other ones. There are teams like Georgia and Oregon at the top, but like the gap is closer than it's ever been. Yeah. But if Indiana wins that game, God, like What do we do after that? Because like, who would they even have to play? Like, we've already knocked out Georgia and Oregon.
Penn State.
Like, come on now. Penn State, who hasn't beat a ranked team in however many years, wins the national championship. Literally all hell.
I'll be damned if I see James Franklin raise that trophy, bro.
Is he black? Is James Franklin black?
He probably.
Is he Jason Kidd black or is he like?
Nah, I think he black, bro.
Well, then I don't want to.
He like Key and Peele. Which one the ball where he like that? He key.
Okay. Well, then I don't want to see a brother, but he don't have that many. He got a lot of non-brothers on his team so it's really them winning the championship.
I mean, he in Pennsylvania, my guy. Like that's what they do in the coast.
Philly's in Pennsylvania.
Oh God,
there are black people out there. But okay, so what about the other side?
All right, the top semifinal it's a nasty bowl game. It's the Orange Bowl. You got you got Clemson versus Tennessee. That's
Tennessee.
nasty. In the
That's
semifinal, this is what was
orange,
picked.
literally.
Yeah, bro.
That's hard,
This is
bro.
what was picked.
I'm
Who
going
would y'all
Tennessee.
go with?
I'm rocking Tennessee.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't know why. I just feel like this is a Tennessee year, bro. In a
Dude,
weird way, it's just like the stars are aligning. You feel
can
me?
we? Can you imagine Dabo getting to the national championship with the most ridiculous ass offseason?
With the sorriest.
Refuse to use the portal. One of the worst quarterbacks he's ever had.
Yeah, bro.
One of the most injury prone teams he's ever had. They lost a bunch of players. They were the most disrespected in the polls. This man talking about we using Jesus NIL instead of the actual NIL. And they go to the national championship game.
Hey.
And we sit here talking crazy about them all year. Like last year, we were talking about how ass they were, and you look up, they won 10 games, and we're like, what the hell? How'd they do that? Like, I feel like if they get to I go Clemson. I'm going to go Clemson.
Wow.
Yeah, just because.
From a program standpoint, I see what you're saying. He's built.
Like they just like I keep like my theme is like what's in a team, it's in them to like they went back and forth with Bama. Like we really watched a team go back and forth to the national championship, like it was a game of make it take it for 4 years. Like it's in them. Like they.
No, I feel you on that because I don't know if I can trust Tennessee's pass game enough.
I can't.
Nico win a game there.
Nico is not. If he ever will be ready, he is not ready.
But if they can run the ball,
exactly, and that's my big thing. That's my big thing. Like I don't think Nico is there as a passer to be a college football championship quarterback, but I think their run game is one. If it's not the best in this group of 12, it's second or third.
And the coach will keep him out of harm's way because he knows, like, he's not like DeBoer where, like, Jalen, do you have to throw it? It's more like, okay, you're getting rattled, like, versus Alabama. Like, they're like, all right, no more. Like, he was trying to get that bitch up. Hype was like, okay, all right, dude. Just hand the ball off. Play point guard. Like I've been saying, play point guard. Like, it seems like the only thing I have against Clemson is, like, Dabo doesn't know when to not let Cade Klubnik he doesn't know when to be like, okay, just turn around, hand the ball off. Like,
you don't know when to take him out the kitchen.
You know what I'm saying? Like Klubnik was phenomenal to start the game, but like that first play with that broken touchdown, that could have ended horribly because he was literally just like aimlessly running around, and then a receiver's like, oh, I'm open. Like that could have went so much worse against like a team that's because I don't know if that was a design like double pass type of thing, but like it looked like a broken play. He literally ran up, sideways, back. If that's Tennessee, that's a strip sack. He's gonna be on top of his head, and like that's just a bad match.
Okay, I'm gonna go Tennessee. So we got Tennessee in the Natty. The second semifinal will be Georgia versus Penn State. That's gonna be a dog bowl. Like we mentioned it earlier, it's gonna be one of those games where it's a slugfest. Yeah. I don't think we'll think it'll be a lot of scoring.
Is Carson back by then?
Maybe. I don't think so.
I think he has a UCL injury.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's done, bro.
Kirby Smart talking about his hand. Like, bro, you can't gaslight us. We just saw his arm do this, go down. Okay, so can we trust that kid to lead them? Yeah, like I don't know. Against Penn State.
I'm gonna put it like this. I know this isn't the same situation. Looking at Jalen Hurts, Tua in the SEC championship.
Okay.
But I think there are situations where your backup quarterback makes everybody else on your team step up and play. Kind of like what you were saying with Arch earlier in this episode.
Yeah. They love him.
Everybody on the team rallies around Arch. Like I said about Georgia in the SEC championship game. Stockton comes in the second half. The run game gets going. Suddenly the defense looks a little bit better. It's like, okay, he might not be the better quarterback,
right?
But he might inspire the guys around him to step up, whether that's because they know they need to, because, hey, we got a redshirt freshman coming in to play quarterback in the biggest moment, or because our guy Carson went down and we want to win it for him. Right. Whatever the motivation is, that team played better in the second half. And I think Georgia has the talent required to make it to the championship.
And I think like somebody talked about winning ugly. Georgia has won. Even Kirby Smart said it. The commissioner literally did not want them to win. Sent them on the road. Sent them to hell every game. They just beat the Texas was the crown prince. We're back. America's team. You can't turn on your phone without seeing some celebrity and some Texas bullshit, and they still couldn't get it done. They gave them the softest SEC schedule, and they still couldn't get it done. Georgia has had the ability to win ugly. I don't know if I can trust the quarterback, but again, if it comes down to two coaches who are not going to put the ball in the quarterback's hand, how are the others going to other? Are they going to be othering? Like, Are they going to be like, ooh, like, okay, like when they played Clemson, the little white kid, where did he come from? He was going crazy. We haven't seen him since. Like, I forget his name. Number 16, the transfer from what Stanford was it?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the little white receiver. He can play like. Can the others like who had like we watched number 11? I forget his name. He hasn't caught shit all year. As soon as Gunnar Stockton came in, now he's Megatron.
Exactly,
now he's
bro.
Megatron. Like, so I know Vance like is anti Carson Beck, but like look at some of the things that he's had to deal with. They were terrible in that Georgia Tech game. They were dropping balls left. That game should have never even went to like. So the fact that we look at some of these games and like, oh, this is an indictment on Georgia. The same way when Kansas City went ugly, we're like, oh, they're not really that good. Sometimes it's just the business model. That's just the way Georgia has done business this year. Maybe that's the way they continue to do business, but they are primed for it. Like they can win ugly. Maybe they get a fully healthy team in that game. They won't have to win ugly, and then whoever's in front of them is in trouble. If they have a fully healthy squad, whoever gets in the way of that buzzsaw, which we haven't seen this year, we have not seen Georgia play a complete game on both sides. The receivers, maybe they dropping balls. The DBs literally couldn't cover the other day. Like, if that's to the point where they're ready to play football, then I think we're looking at a team that's ready to get that championship back.
Okay. I mean, I see you guys are picking Georgia, but if they were to play Penn State, I would take Penn State just off the fact of having Penn State has the weapons to actually threaten them. Like compared to the teams that did beat Georgia, when you think about how Alabama had Ryan Williams just going absolutely crazy, nuclear. They like I said mentioned, they got Tyler Warren. They got one of a top tier running back that came into here. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. That's the best.
They got a two-headed monster. That's the best thing that can happen to you in college is a two-headed monster. It's almost impossible to defend.
But listen, I would just go ahead for sake of argument. As a group, we're gonna say Georgia will win.
Okay.
So in the national championship game, we get a rematch from just a month ago.
Jeez.
UT Knox versus Georgia. Georgia won 31-17. So who will win in the national championship game, hypothetically?
Coming into this, ever since I first looked at the bracket, Georgia was my winner. I'm not changing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I mean, it's that easy. If they did play each other, I'm pretty sure Georgia. Yeah, I think they'll destroy Tennessee. Actually.
I think the hardest games, like for some of these teams, are not going to be like once you get to the championship. Like I said, once Oregon's out of the way, like Georgia can literally do with it. Like the best teams that they've played won't even have made it that far. Like let's say we want to give Texas respect, they won't be in the way of Georgia. Ohio State, they won't be in the way. Clemson, they won't be in the way. Like these teams that might have even given them, by the time they even get to the other side of the bracket when they meet in the championship, they'll literally have killed each other. Like
they put all the new kids in their bracket.
That's what I'm saying. Like all the new kids and then all the blue bloods. Like Ohio State has a playoff appearance, Texas has a playoff appearance, Clemson has a playoff experience. Like Tennessee almost had one, but then they blew it to South Carolina. That was year before last. Like so, you have like the we haven't been there. Meet the buzzsaw. Buzzsaw meet other buzzsaw. You guys kill each other. We'll see who comes out. Like, all right, like we're throwing the rest of them like into the lines. Then like, and this isn't even the most potent Georgia team we've ever seen. Like,
not at all.
They've rolled out teams where they haven't had. We have a team where some of us would question the quarterback. Some of us would question some of the weapons. Georgia just had one of the best tight ends ever. They had receivers. They had running backs. They had defensive. They had everything. They don't have that this year. But look, here we are. They beat Texas. Had this loaded team. Texas, we're back. They still got.
I think no Texas is that. I think Georgia's just a kryptonite. This is just what I'm thinking.
If Georgia's their kryptonite, they are not going to be built for the SEC. They played the literal bones of the SEC. They didn't have to play Bama. They didn't have to play Tennessee.
They avoided Florida.
They a real Florida team. Okay,
they played
Aiden Warner or whatever his name is. I know that LSU has had a down year, but like they are one of the more competitive teams in the SEC. What's stopping them if they come down here to Death Valley and they're fucking around? What's stopping them from getting hit in the mouth? Like,
bro, Ole Miss, yeah.
Ole Miss, exactly. Ole Miss just beat the piss out of Georgia. So we're projecting Georgia win the national championship. Ole Miss boat raced Georgia from the first drive on. It didn't even look back. So
we shall see, bro.
This is what I'm gonna say. I felt like Ole Miss had the most talented team in the SEC.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, some teams just have it in them. And
Ole
Ole Miss is one of the teams that have shitting the bed in the program.
Literally.
Georgia, on the other hand, has championship pedigree.
Yeah.
And that will show in this college football playoff.
You shall see.
Vance, I know you wasn't feeling the Georgia pick, so I got to ask you. I think me and TJ are in somewhat agreement of Georgia being national champion.
Yeah.
Who is your national champion, Vance?
Man, I mean, TJ don't almost condition me to think that they not gonna win it all, but I took a quick glance, and when I went through the teams, I had Penn State winning it all. I had them beating Oregon in a rematch, and so that's just my thought process right now. They play each other again. Once Oregon got off to a really fast start. The second half of the game, Penn State was walking them down. They had more time. They would have won that game. Yeah. And so I'm gonna go Penn State beating Oregon in a rematch.